Action Gromit. Wallace and Gromit.
Wallace and Gromit.
Curse of the Were-Rabbit was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Yeah.
It was like very up there on my list. The Shaun the Sheeps.
Yep.
You know, all those old like aardman.
What is it? Aardman, yeah, Aardman.
Cartoons.
Yeah.
You know, Chicken Run was really good.
Are they still running out of clay? Because I remember that was a thing when Chicken
yeah.
Run 2 came out, and they were like, we're almost out of clay, and when we're done, it's over, and you guys will never get a movie.
Maybe this
again.
was still made, you know, because it takes like 8 years to make one of these. So like this has been in development probably since Curse of the Were-Rabbit came out, you know. This movie starts, I really liked it. This movie starts and it's like, we're classic Wallace and Gromit, and I go, oh good, they didn't update it for today's times. Like Chicken Run 2 was very much like, we're gonna start the same, and then it's gonna become like fit into today's woke, if you will. You know what I mean? This one, I'm like, yes, we're not doing that, and then full pivot, we're doing robots, and we're doing AI, and I'm like, but it worked. Worked.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a real simple plot device.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
You got like gnome bots, you know, doing their gardening work. And it like makes sense because he's like an inventor and he finally makes an invention that like people want to use, you know. Love it. Super charming, you know.
No, it was I'm weird
good.
about claymation movies.
Love claymation.
So I'm never like,
that
they're
Pirates
my
movie?
favorite. That is probably my favorite
I love that movie.
That's probably my favorite one. It's a great
movie. It's a great, but then on the other hand of claymation, you have like The Missing Link, where it's like, that movie has never done it for me with like Hugh Jackman and like Zach Galifianakis.
I was gonna say
and, like,
I
Zoe
hated
Saldana.
Flushed Away.
Oh, you did?
I could not.
I love that movie.
But I don't know what it is
Was
about
that claymation? Or was that
sure
just
it was.
3D animation? I think
it?
that was just 3D animation.
Okay.
But it looked.
It had a very.
Yeah. Because I think that's a DreamWorks
It was
movie?
DreamWorks.
Yeah.
But I feel like DreamWorks used to
DreamWorks did
do
Chicken Run.
some art. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this movie was hella charming. It was a lot of fun. I think the world needed a Wallace and Gromit right now. You know? Like.
Yeah, it's kind of. I'm trying to decide if it's a good or a bad thing that it's like become a Netflix kind of like exclusive thing.
Because theater movie, a January theater movie.
Yeah, I feel like it would have done
being
well.
a Wallace and Gromit.
Like obviously they're not going to make. It's not going to make $180 million or nothing because those movies never do. But I mean, like I don't know. It just.
But nothing is coming out right now.
Yeah.
So why not put it out in theaters? I thought about this. I'm like, when like the title card comes on at the end and it's like the end, and I'm like, I would have gone to see this. I would have 100% gone to see this. It's not even
90 minutes.
No.
It's like an 80-minute movie.
No.
You're like in and out. Like.
Well, you can't make like a 2-hour.
Right, because it's claymation. That's what I mean.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's a great kids movie. I thought it was about in line with the rest of them. To me, nothing really stuck out, but it was like a fun. The beginning with like the hacking the robot from
Feathers McGraw.
Feathers McGraw. That stuff makes me think of us because I have like Feathers Magoo. You know what I mean? Like.
So stupid. Like this beady-eyed penguin that like doesn't talk or have any lines is like a master criminal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
But he's been in other stuff, hasn't he? I could have sworn.
Feathers McGraw.
Yeah.
He might be a recurring character.
I feel like he's like from the original.
I feel like we tried to look that up.
Yeah, like they arrest. Like
was Wallace and Gromit like it was a show, right?
I think so.
Was it like a series of shorts maybe? Because that's what I think. I don't think it was like they just made a movie and invented all this lore. Like I think it was like a old like British thing that got a movie that like breached the borders of its country. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
like,
it was short. It was short.
That's what I thought.
The first one was finished and released in 1989.
Okay, so we're in 2025, old.
So they did A Grand Day Out in 89, The Wrong Trousers in 93, A Close Shave in 95. Then they had The Curse of the Werewolf in 05.
Were-Rabbit.
Or Were-Rabbit, I'm sorry. And then they had another short, A Matter of Loaf and Death.
Okay.
And also there was an animated series, Wallace and Gromit's Cracking Contraptions in 02.
Okay.
Shaun the Sheep was a show that's still on.
Yes. Shaun the Sheep has had movies.
Yeah, then there was a Shaun the Sheep 3D movie in 2012, and Shaun the Sheep Championships, which is a show. Championships, that's pretty
brilliant.
good. I feel like we should go work for them.
That's fucking brilliant.
And they've had a crap ton of television specials also. There's
Yes.
Timmy Time, there's a Timmy Time show, and a Timmy Time, I don't know what that is. Shaun of the Sheep, The Flight. So they've done a bunch, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Theatrical, they've done theatrical.
Is it Aardman? Are we wrong on that?
I think it's Aardman. Yeah.
Okay.
Claymation comedy frame. Yeah, Aardman animation.
Okay. Cool.
So there you go. So yeah, it's been Jesus.
It's been around since '89.
35 years.
So a long time.
Yeah,
That's what I thought. I was like, I don't think the movie just like created all this lore out of nowhere. Like the movie was just like what made it like a household name, I think. Because like when it was short films, I think it was only like, it's like, oh, it's a British thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And those probably
like,
don't doing shorter films. Don't take 8 years probably.
No.
As opposed to.
Well, they're also not gonna like reach the audience that like a theatrical release would.
True. And the
You
short
know?
films are like they're 23 minutes. So like really a television show.
Oh, okay.
They're like an episode.
All right, that's not bad.
No.
Okay. When you say short film, I'm thinking like 5 minutes.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. But
Right.
they're doing like actual television specials basically.
Okay. Feathers McGraw could very well be a reoccurring character. I thought it was the funniest thing how he doesn't talk. Mm-hmm. He's like building the contraptions in the jail cell to like. It like shows him like using like the hand crank thing where he can like, and then he can just type, and you're like, it like he goes past the keys. And it's like, oh, he could just grab the keys to like unlock it. And then he's like hacking. Like, oh, it's so fucking stupid. The visual gags.
Yeah.
That's why you watch a claymation
I was
movie.
going to say, that's what's always fun in these movies. The ridiculous visuals that they do when the scenes are going. Even Chicken Run 2, as weak as that was, has some fun gags.
Fun visuals, yeah.
I agree.
I thought we were going to get a Chippendale Rescue Rangers, where you have J.K. Simmons cop, rookie cop, human cop. And it's like actually Chief who's like behind it all.
Yeah.
Like, because that's the two characters they're setting up, like as the police officers who are like trying to investigate. It's like, there's the Chief just leading her on because he's like, no, we're not doing that. Like, no, of course not.
No, which is probably better though.
I
feel like that's been tropes.
That's too obvious. It's too obvious, and to just make it Feathers McGraw, like the end where he's just like, is that Feathers McGraw? And then he like turns around, he's in a nun. Oh, it's just a lovely nun out for a boat ride. So stupid.
Which means we'll get a sequel.
Will we?
8 years, maybe?
In 20 years? Yeah. 2040, Wallace and Gromit 3.
That was fun. I tried to watch it with the kids. The kids, like, that's what I worry about.
They're not
Like,
into
they don't
it?
like, kids don't seem to like the clip. Like, so now I feel like it's made for us now.
Yeah, it didn't even feel like it was too kiddie.
Right.
Either.
Yeah.
Like a Sonic, like where it's like
yeah,
too
it felt
kiddie.
less kiddie than Sonic did.
Which is crazy to me.
It's a claymation movie.
Yeah. I really like this movie, man. I had a lot of fun with it. I wish it was a
cute.
theater movie.
It was definitely.
It was adorable.
It's a cute movie.
Fucking
it's a feel
adorable.
good. Like if you just want to like not pretend that the world's going to shit in a week.
I want to live in Wallace and Gromit world.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like a breath of fresh air after Nosferatu,
Yes.
which is all dark and dreary and
Yes.
slow and boring and not zany.
We get like actual action in this movie. Like they're on the like train or like the boat and it's like sliding off this like giant bridge while shit's exploding.
That's why it
and
takes
you're like,
so long to make.
Isn't this a Wallace and Gromit movie, not Mission Impossible 7?
What do you? I gotta look. I gotta see the budget because I'm
Oh,
curious.
okay.
Because you're mentioning that scene, and I'm wondering like how much extra people.
That's
do
like
they
the
have to
most
bring
action
in?
I've ever seen in a claymation movie. You know what I mean? And it's like, did they use like CGI assistance for that? I would put money on it.
I don't think you have to, but they're supposedly they never do.
I believe that, but maybe just for that scene.
By the way, 79 minutes. This movie is super short.
Not even 80 minutes.
Not even 80 minutes.
Super digestible. Mm-hmm. No reason to not put that out.
Yeah, that's
in
what I'm trying to
theaters.
say.
Yeah.
It's very like Curse of the Were-Rabbit is a super. That's probably one of my favorites as far as the Aardmans go.
It's really good.
And this was definitely like that, but without without the spooky, stupid.
That's a good
over-the-top.
Halloween movie.
That's a good Halloween.
That's
movie.
a great Halloween movie. This was a good any time of the year movie. You know, they didn't like isolate it to like they could have done a Christmas.
It currently has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Fuck yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Wallace and Gromit fucks, y'all.
8.4 out of 10 average too.
Wow.
Not just like it's got a positive review,
It's
like
good.
they're overwhelmingly positive.
Like there's
It's like-
nothing bad about it.
It's wholesome. You know what it reminds me of?
Wholesome.
Paddington.
Yeah.
Seriously though.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, hey,
Just a boy and
we're
his
going on a
dog.
fun adventure and like we're not gonna do anything crazy sexual or inappropriate or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're just gonna have a fun like
Yeah.
a Zootopia.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We're just gonna it's gonna be like a fun but not even that racy, like
No.
even more wholesome.
Yeah.
You know, like
It makes my heart happy.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's just like I wish my kids and kids would be more into it because that's the stuff
Have they seen
should
Were
be
Rabbit?
watching. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Chicken Run 2, I think they were okay with, but Then they were like, was this a sequel? Then I got to watch Chicken Run. Oh, that looks old. Like, my kids are at the point now, like my 9-year-old will say like, oh, that's from the 1900s. And things are like, it could be from like, you're old because you were born in the 1900s. Like, don't say that. Say 1999. Yeah. So,
but 19.
And I'm sure he's not the only one that, the kids that act that way. Like, ugh, when was that animated?
Yeah. The 1900s. Ouch.
And then I think, oh man, we used to say 1800s in the
Did
you?
you?
In the 90s, like when you're like a little kid. When I was a little kid in the 90s, it was like, oh, way back in the 1800s, and now we're doing the same thing, but we're already 25 years into so it is.
That hurts me so bad. Gross.
But yeah, I mean, like I hope things like this continue to get made.
Yes.
And if they're out of clay, let's get them
find some.
Let's figure that out, please. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
I'm right there with you.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it's not anywhere past that.
It's not a masterpiece.
No.
You're not gonna be like talking about it in film class in 20 years.
No notes.
But no notes.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's about as best that you can do for that style of movie.
It hit exactly what it was going for. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It sounds like Wallace and Gromit, but it's like, it was good.
No, but
you're
right, we need more of these. Mm-hmm. Like less 8-year waits. If we need shorts in between, maybe a secondary small version that they're just doing little shorts.
Maybe that's the problem why your kids are like, what's a Wallace and Gromit?
Right, because it's been 8 years.
Devil's a Wallace.
Yeah, because when the last one came out, my kid was an infant.
Right. I was a child. I was like, yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Right. Like, yeah, so 7 out of 10 across the board. Let us know what you thought of Wallace and Gromit. Super accessible. I appreciate it not being in theaters because then a lot more people can watch it.
That's true.
Everybody has Netflix. If you don't, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
I'm legitimately curious, even if we have to beep and slow down. I want to know the budget.
We can beep and slow down.
Yeah, because I'm genuinely curious what it takes for them to make these. Because you're right, like that one scene, like, man, there's a lot of work, like a lot, not just time, but there's like
the environments.
Right.
They go hard on the environments in this movie. Yeah, that whole boat chase scene is like, I think this is the most we've seen of like Wallace and Gromit world in any other movie. Because like every other movie, it seems like it's contained to that neighborhood.
House or that neighbor. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like no. We get the museum. We go to the zoo. We get an underground sewer. We get their house. We get their house stripped of inventions. We get the police station. We get the boat chase. I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, this movie had been in development since before the last one came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to start with guessing the budget.
That's where I'm at. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to get anything. Like, is
it 100 mil? I doubt it, But then again,
just
labor.
I meant to put cost, and you said clay, and I typed clay. I literally like production costs, and it's like $6.99 to.
Damn, $7 to make this movie.
to get Netflix to watch. I'm like, no, it's not. No, I understand how Netflix works.
Also, it's not a subscriber getter. So like, why no one's buying Netflix for $7 a month just for Wallace and Gromit?
Yeah, but to me, that's the stuff they should aim for because that's cheaper than a movie ticket, and now you have an entire catalog for an entire month to check out.
Right.
That should be like they should make cheaper ones to get people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree.
$7 isn't bad.
But it's not a subscriber getter.
No, it's not going to be like, well, now they've gone up 3 million subscribers.
Right, because Wallace and Gromit.
The return of Wallace and Gromit. But no budget.
But how much did the movie cost?
If we find it out, we'll put it in the description, would you? Because I'm like legitimately, because people are like, oh God, they're going to tell us in like 5 minutes. And I'm like,
no, we got nothing for you.
I can't find it.
So sorry. 7 out of 10 across the board. Go see this. Way
Go
better
see
than
it.
Chicken Run 2. I just saw that image on your screen and
It's
remembered
way
how
better
bad Chicken
than
Run 2 was.
Chicken Run 2 is disappointing.
I like this. I like that environment they were in.
That cool when they get captured towards the end. And
really good.
that was good. But that whole movie was...
It was bad.
Because what I've read is that they're saying, well, this is made more for the people that never watched Cobra Kai and love the movies growing up.
But everybody watches Cobra Kai.
But if you love the movies growing up, you watch Cobra Kai.
That doesn't make any sense. My dad watched fucking Cobra Kai, and he's almost 60.
That's what I'm trying to say. So, like, I don't know how they think there's, like, what they don't get about that disconnect.
I know.